Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Urban Uncut, and it is an Audi RS special. I'm in our new RSQ8. I've got Chris, our operations director, behind in the RS6, and then, oh look at this absolute hooligan. Come on boys, out of the way, you modern pieces of shit.
So I'm in the B6 RS4, and I want to start by saying thank you, Ben at Deutsche Tech, for the loan of this. You've taken me back down memory lane. I almost feel like I've gone back to 2006, and in a right way. It's exactly as I remember. I've jumped into this car and it's almost identical to the car that I spec'd when I was younger. I had 4 of these in my car journey. There was 2 saloons and 2 convertibles. Back in the day, 2006, to have carbon, obviously the weave isn't as refined as it is now, what we put on our cars, but to have carbon like this in a car, I've just gone past the guys in the RS6 and the RSQ8, and I feel like I'm in the best car. Like, I know I'm supposed to be selling the new cars that you build, which are fantastic by the way, but this for me is just the best. It's just I don't know, it gives me goosebumps. So Ben, thanks mate, I really appreciate it.
So it's 20 years since the RS6 was first launched, anniversary this year. What a car. Little brake test. Yeah, they're just as good as the 500 horsepower engine. I've definitely got to look into me getting one of these. It's always been on my radar.
So the RSQ8, I'll be honest, I weren't too sure about it at the beginning, because it's kind of either here or there, do you know what I mean? It's not quite tall enough to be an SUV, and it's not quite low enough to be a fast estate like the RS6. But you can't deny that it's got incredible performance. There's those idiots again. Sign the RS4 and Chris in the RS6. And now that old argument about Urus versus RSQ8 has got a little bit more interesting. So obviously an Urus shares a lot of the same components, it's 100 grand more, and now we've added this urban styling which makes this look so cool. It's a contender. Anyway, I'm off to have a little bit of fun and try and keep up with those 2 idiots in the RS4 and the RS6.
Although I'm thanking Ben, it's just cost me £30,000 because I'm definitely going to go back to the unit, and I'm definitely going to look for one of these. Right guys, so you've seen the car and we want to talk about it in a little bit more detail. We've done a few things on this which we wouldn't normally do. There's like some new things for us.
It looks amazing. It's completely changed the car. I mean, before we started filming, I said to you,
we had a little bit of an argument.
Do you mind if I like sort of say what I really think about the RSQ8? I love the RS6. That's one of my favourite cars.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see the point of the RSQ8. You kind of, it's a height thing. It doesn't quite feel high enough for it to be an SUV. It doesn't feel low enough to be a sports car. And I thought the exterior styling was very, very safe and a little bit boring, but now with this kit, it just makes it look so much more aggressive, and I kind of get it now. It genuinely, looks-wise, it's the contender for an Urus at 100 grand cheaper. I know looks-wise.
No, yeah, I mean, it's you know, everyone's going to say it's no Urus. It's the,
you can't
right,
mention one without the other.
It's not an Urus. It's not an Urus, but it's a close second.
If you're not quite at Urus budget, and you want something like, you know, performance
quick,
SUV that
agile,
looks cool,
looks good, comfortable,
looks fantastic.
Like everything about it has the different. I guess the difference with this is when you buy one of these under a Vorsprung model, it has everything. Yeah. Whereas when you buy an Urus, you've got a spec. Yeah. Whereas this comes everything, head-up display, all of the interior, sound system, every driver functionality under the sun.
So that's it done. Like I say, you can't mention one without the other. But
exactly.
Let's go to the urban styling, which looks amazing.
So this is the first time we've done like a carbon eyebrow, really complex part. It just adds a little bit of dimension to the front. We've come for this like blade approach, and it sort of goes with this new design on the splitter. We've tried to make it look a little bit more premium, not so sort of, you know, like single draw, like, you know, down lower kit like the RS6 does. And we followed those flashes through.
What I love about, like, obviously this is the launch car, so we did the carbon in satin, so it shows more, but it actually looks really, really cool. I love it. But yeah, so you've got the blades here, which gives it a lot of aggression, but for the first time as well in the side skirts.
We've done something a little bit different. Diffuser was really, really complex on this car, rather than replacing the whole diffuser, because some cars can't stomach so much upgrades. We tried to go for a balance, so we've gone for some lower splitters on the rear bumper, but kept the diffuser the same. So if you're going for an aftermarket exhaust, it still fits, but you've still got the look running along the side of the car, so it goes into the back bumper. Yeah,
it looks awesome. And at the back again, we've got the twin spoiler setup.
Twin spoiler
like
setup,
the RS6.
It's becoming quite kind of like a signature look, and obviously that mixed opinions at the start as well. We had people saying, "Oh, I like it, but I don't like the bottom spoiler."
But it changes it.
It changes it.
Yeah, and we've only ever had one RS6 go out with just the top spoiler.
Well, it went out with both, and the customer took the bottom one off.
Oh,
but
okay.
We've only had one, ended up with one spoiler.
And such a big car, 24-inch alloys. Can have 23s if you go for comfort.
You can run 23. Obviously, it comes with 23s as stock. You just have to push them out a little bit because they sit quite inboard on the standard car.
The 24s look great.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. What do you think, guys? New RSQ8 kit. Is it a contender for a Urus? Does it fit perfectly with a budget? You decide. Get in the comments.
Hi everyone, welcome to this week's instalment of Staff's Cars. I'm with Lloyd, our parts and conversions manager, and we've got his Audi 1.4 TFSI.
All right.
No, it's an S3, yeah?
Yes.
Daytona grey?
Yeah, Daytona grey.
And we've got your private plate on there, Lloyd's Alan Cole?
Lloyd Air Conditioning we go for.
Lloyd Air Conditioning.
Huge company.
So yeah, Daytona grey S3, 2016 model.
Yeah, 2015, 2016, so it's just before the sort of the facelift version.
But yeah, obviously underneath it's basically a Golf R, so obviously it's got...
Because you knew.
I'm just going to go in there first before you got there.
Everyone knows I'm a Golf R fan, and I've been ribbing Lloyd saying I'm going to absolutely slate it because it's not a Golf R. But I get it, you know, if you're loyal to a brand, and let's face it, the interior is more premium,
yeah,
it's a little bit nicer than the Golf R.
You've got the foundations of the Golf R, so you know it drives well, and then
yeah.
you've just got the sort of the luxury of the interior. So kind of you tick both boxes, you've got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and what did you have before this? You had Mini Cooper S, wasn't it?
Mini John Cooper Works.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah.
that was sort of a bit more bazzy, and then sort of, I was doing a lot of commuting at the time, so then it was just nice sort of like going to sort of a...
There's a running joke we call Lloyd Launch Control Lloyd because he's just everywhere, just putting his foot down. I remember the old unit.
Oh, I'm toned down a lot now.
We had complaints from the neighbours with how Lloyd used to drive down there.
The first week I started working at Urban, the next one neighbour complained that a black Mini that was like driving.
And it wasn't our other staff member with the black Mini because that was just like a 1 point whatever.
Yeah.
It was like a really right. So yeah, so what have you actually done to this then? Because I can see it's been slightly modified.
Yeah, so like staying true to sort of Urban, it's quite like an OEM plus look. So it's obviously gone and had sort of the black pack done to it, or at the factory it did both.
So the grille?
Yeah, so black grille, now I've changed all the badges to black as well. It's lowered on eye-back lowering springs, like the Pro kit. It's then on Voss and HF3s. Recently refinished in satin black as well,
which I really like.
Yeah, it gives a nice mean look to the car. Before that, they were sort of like a diamond cut finish, which just doesn't last in the winter. So it was just nice to freshen it all up. It's got a forged carbon induction kit, so it adds a bit more noise to the car because they are very mute from the factory. And it's got a resonator delete as well, so it actually just, again, adds a bit more noise. Yeah, it gives a bit more drama to the car.
The S and the RS styling is very subtle though, isn't it? Like, because usually these would be like a satin silver, wouldn't they?
Yeah, so normally these are silver. I've changed to black, which if anything makes it more subtle.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like the styling from the front end, there's no difference to this to a TDI.
No.
Like, you know, if it comes up behind you,
but do you quite like that though? Do you quite like that it's subtle and you get like Civic Type R's with wings and vents and stuff like that trying to race you?
Yes and no. I mean, it still does draw a lot of attention. I think because it is lowered and on wheels, like people know it is sort of something a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you definitely surprise sort of a few like boxers and things like that going down the road where like, you know, so they think they have you and they don't.
So you've tuned this, have you? It's not complete standard, or don't worry about the insurance company watching. Like, but then
I mean, it's all covered. Yeah, it's all covered.
We're all legal.
You know, you have to tell them what you got. But no, so it has got basically like a slight tune on it. It's more basic. It's enhanced to be what like the facelift S3 is. So it's probably like another 30-40 brake.
So what, about 300
So yeah, about 330 brake, 340 brake.
See, I'd be quite interested to drive it there because obviously I've had the 7 Golf R, the 7.5. The 7.5 is 310. So I'll be interested to see what this is like. Yeah,
I mean, it's just sort of, it's nice to drive. You don't feel like you're going to need more power, but it's not going to be like supercar fast. It's not going to pin you to the back. But like,
so what do you think's next then?
I was very tempted by like an F80 M3, but I mean, like the prices have just gone mental.
Yeah,
and then
we talked about
like
this, didn't we? When you were really looking at it, prices were all right, and then the used car market has gone absolutely crazy.
Yeah, like when I was initially thinking about changing to an M3, it was sort of like before all the prices went crazy.
Yeah. And
even then I thought, oh, you know, like the market's a bit sort of lumpy, you know, I might hold off for a bit, and it's just gone mental. So. Yeah.
Oh, it's a nice thing. So I think we should go for a drive.
Yeah, sure. No problem at all, yeah.
You get in the door for me.
No, mate. Wait, what are you doing?
I'm absolutely not letting a 12-year-old drive me. Right,
what's wrong? Launch control light.
All right, it's not that bad.
Right, I might have to. I'm going to have to mess your seating up a little bit. Right, so not electric seats, yeah?
No,
the Audi interior is a lot more premium. Right, so disclaimer.
All right.
There's disclaimer.
What am I signing?
Right. Basically, any damage, I'll write the car off if I kill you. It's nothing really. Nothing.
Oh, yeah,
if you could just, sign and print
Lane
there,
drive
please.
car disclaimer. All right.
Yeah.
Don't need to read it. No.
No, you don't need to read that. No, just
sign.
No, it's fine. Just
It's like a bit of gibberish going on here, mate.
No, that's fine. Let me just get this going. Okay, right, you're done, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like. Do you want to just check the boot light is open? Do you want to just check, make sure that's closed? Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see
No, is that all right? Yeah. Okay, fine. Right. I'm just going to have a little mess about around here.
You're going to muck it all up.
Yeah. Oh, you got a little boost gauge.
Yeah.
Golfs don't have that.
No.
No.
Those Audi's better, aren't they?
Right.
Quattro, mate. Quattro.
Basically, a posh word for 4-wheel drive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Right, so that's fine then. So that does what it says it's going to do. Goes into sport. Are we warmed up? Yeah, we're fairly warmed up.
I'm sure you'll warm it up in no time.
Yeah, I'm not having too loud. Why do I feel big in here? Can this go low? Can this go lower?
I hate to break to you, you're not the smallest fella.
Oh, yeah,
it's all right.
I'll be honest, it does feel, it feels nice in here.
It's just a nice place to be.
It's just a nice place to be, Lloyd.
Oh, I need to get that off. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? That extra 20, 25, 30, whatever brake horsepower,
it's the torque, you know, it
feels so much different to a standard Golf R.
So it's better, yeah?
I wouldn't say better, I'd say different, but no, it's a nice place to be. Let's warm the tyres up. And you put new tyres on, haven't you?
Fresh tyres, fresh rubber. The nice thing about the Audi is that you can just drive it like an everyday nice normal car, whack it and drive, but if you want to sort of be a bit of a...
You could take your nan out for lunch, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And just leave it in comfort mode or whatever. Nice. Let's go this way, let's just warm up the tyres.
But that's also almost the downside to it, is they tick so many boxes. Oh, all right.
Oh, I like it, Lloyd.
Yeah. You're like changing opinion.
You can't go wrong with cars like this though, can you? You can't. They just put a smile on your face. Like, take away the cars that we get to drive, like the Urus's, the Bentleys, like, supercars and stuff. Like a hot hatch is just good fun, no matter how old you are.
That's the downside to it. You almost get blasé about just seeing like Lambos and SVRs and everything just like floating through.
Yeah.
And obviously being lucky enough to drive them as well.
Yeah.
So
I really like it. So do you not think that if you were coming out of something like this into an F80 M3, you'd miss the 4-wheel drive and being able to, because this literally does what you want it to do,
I think round Milton Keynes you cannot beat 4-wheel drive. Like when you have the roundabouts, the dual carriageway, it's just all about cornering and acceleration.
Because I had that M2 comp and that felt like it was just constantly trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Short wheelbase, rear wheel drive, 410 brake horsepower.
And I think that would be fun for a little while, but I think after like 2 weeks you'd be like, oh come on now, I just want to put my foot down and go.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, you can't really beat like the Golf R or the S3 platforms where they just drop a gear and go.
Yeah. It just stinks, doesn't it?
That's the thing as well, they don't like step out and scare you, like they always do what you expect them to do.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple of occasions driving my M2 after it had just rained and I put my foot down and even with traction control on, it just wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I like to think I can pedal a little bit, but I don't like the unpredictability, do you know what I mean? With this, you don't get that, do you?
Yeah, and if anything, they shine in the rain. Like as soon as the rain comes out, the M2s and stuff, they're like,
struggling to get grip.
Yeah, they're going slow around the roundabouts and stuff, and these things just fly. Like, oh, you warm up tyres again, yeah?
Just warming up tyres for you, mate.
Okay. That's 1 millimetre gone.
Speak to Si about replacing them. Yeah, I mean, it's just good fun. So cool. And then if you put it back into like just normal drive mode, it's just a nice, comfortable hatch.
Yeah, it will just go up into high gear, just drive along nicely. It's just a nice place to be.
It is. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Anything else you want to add, Lloyd?
No, not really. I mean, this one has a sports seat, so again, it is much more like sort of premium in here. If you go for like a budget one, then it does.
We're really trying to push that difference between Audi and Golf, aren't we? Well, thank you very much, Lloyd. I've enjoyed my little blast in your S3.
Thanks. You can recoup me for the fuel.
Well, I have just, yeah, one bar has just gone off the
it does
so
go very
again,
quick.
speak to Si.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I have absolutely no authority in giving you any kind of
no.
petrol money, no. So, yeah.
It's alright,
Thanks,
you can
mate.
just buy me lunch.
Right, so let's wrap up this week. Your choice.
RS6.
RS6.
I absolutely love that car. It's so much fun to drive. I just couldn't deal with an old school car every day yet in 2022. Got to be the RS6. Love the look of this, but I don't like being a little bit high. That feels like a sports car. This, you sort of half SUV, half estate car. That has got everything. RS6 for me.
Chris?
If we had an exhaust on this today, I'll be buying it today.
But you think that one anyway,
Exhaust
it's
and
just-
induction kit.
It's just like, it just needs it, doesn't it? So, yeah, for me.
So this had an exhaust and induction kit and coilovers.
Yeah,
And this is the most fun I've had
yeah.
since last Friday.
So much so that you were straight on Auto Trader looking for one.
Yes, I was, yeah. Like I said earlier, I expected to jump into it. I expected it to be shit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was amazing. It was exactly like driving the one before. Like you said to me earlier, how many miles did you do in your RS4? And I had 4 cars. I must have done 25,000 miles in each of them. So I'm quite familiar with this.
Yeah.
And it was literally like I went back in time.
So those two are absolutely awesome in their own rights, but let's not forget the RSQ8. And we've made it look so cool. That was the only thing it was missing. It was a little bit bland styling wise.
Yeah.
24s, full carbon kit. It's made it as cool as an Urus.
I mean, listen.
Price point.
A Urus is pushing 300. This is 150. It's half the price, but we've made something that's much more affordable, which has the similar performance. Yeah. I mean, the look of it's fantastic. I mean, I guess that wraps up this week, doesn't it?
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe.